by 12 hours, I think it was, we missed the whole X story from Elon Musk. So we were talking about Threads last week, and I think given the events of the last couple of weeks, I feel like Threads might have a better go of it now. After the rebranding to X.com for Twitter, and there's so much to this that it's funny. It genuinely is funny.
Ben, it's great to be back. Firstly, it's great that these sorts of things are happening because the world's just getting madder. We don't even need Donald Trump anymore.
Well, yeah, he was like the catalyst, and then it's like put this thing out there, and then all this sort of stuff tends to happen. But it's hard to see this as anything other than an ego play from him, unless he's got some ulterior motive in terms of some genius approach that nobody has been able to see yet. That's going to make this into, something brilliant. All I thought was, apart from it being exceptionally funny and stupid, because, you type in X into a search engine and you're probably going to get predictable results. There's the destruction of the brand. So regardless of whether you like Twitter or not, it did become part of the cultural zeitgeist. Everyone knows what a tweet is. Everyone knows what Twitter was, and now it's gone. I don't think people are going to go around saying, "I'm going to X you." I mean, that kind of doesn't sound. It doesn't sound very good. So, did you have any thoughts on any of that, Steve?
Ben, look, it's really interesting when decisions like this are made. I mean, humans make the decision, right? Now, in this particular situation, we can only assume that Elon's made the decision. I don't know what to say about this because we live in a world where committees, focus groups, whether they make an error or not, they spend 12 months deciding this stuff, and it's workshopped and whatever else. And they come up with a decision, they enact it. For better or for worse, whether it's Coke Classic versus Coke New or anything else that might have ever happened in the history of bad branding, this is remarkable in that it appears one person has decided this themselves. Did anyone oppose it? That's what I would like to know. Did everyone just say yes? Does he just have to say yes himself and then send a tweet or an X to the marketing department? I would love to just know how this works. And then as for the fallout of this decision, well, we'll just be watching this for the next few months. It's at best extreme. Are we living in a world now where people, whether it's the president of Russia or the CEO of X, have just too much power? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I guess a minor thing for me to talk about on this too, on a more serious note, is that I am a bit sick of the extensive commentary online about how much Elon Musk is a genius.
Well, we're testing this theory right now, so I'm all for it. But if the results are bad, they're going to have to change their tune.
Yeah, and I guess it it works on so many levels. Just take the fact that Elon seems to have a bit of a gift for the spin, like knowing when to drop a story so that he becomes part of the news cycle. He seems to actually have an ability to do that, and he did the same thing with this by dropping it. Like I think we recorded on a Saturday, and I think it came out on a Sunday, and he knows exactly when to hit it so that people will notice it and all that sort of thing. But then it kind of begs the question, just because, maybe you are a genius on one or two specific points of things that you do that make you successful, but that the idea that the online commentary would provide is that he's a genius on everything. And maybe this is just an example that, no, maybe like all of us, maybe you can be really good at one thing or two things, but you're not necessarily an all-round genius. And this looks like a amateur move by any stretch of the imagination.
I completely agree with you in that it's unexpected. And in this world where we talk a lot about AI and the future of AI, X has a credible threat in Threads. And this, I would say, is one individual like thinking, well, I've got to respond to this. and coming up with an idea to respond, and that's to remake or make over Twitter into X. Wow. Like, so I can't stop laughing about it because it's an antithesis of every corporate structure that exists today. This is either radical genius to go in those genius camps, win, lose, or draw, maybe, even if he is wrong with this, it's still genius. I don't know. I'm not going to judge that. Or it's only a couple of steps away from craziness.
Or bankruptcy, depending on how badly it goes. I mean,
I would say for some MBA graduates, craziness and bankruptcy and success and genius are synonymous.
exactly. But it kind of I guess what's also perplexing is that there's this background of Elon having a fascination with the letter X, and that he actually tried to get PayPal renamed X back in the day, but obviously he was overruled at the time, and because he's the undisputed king of X, formerly known as Twitter, he could just make that change unilaterally and it wouldn't have been a problem. But if anyone in their right mind seeing threads pop up, and I'm pretty sure this is like, as much as I despise Zuckerberg on a good day because of Facebook, I have to give him a bit of credit here. Whether he saw that, he read the tea leaves, he got some inside information, he probably thought, yeah, okay, I'm going in. And why would anyone in their right mind ditch a universally known brand name, particularly with a competitor coming up, which actually, as you know, Threads is a decent name for that type of platform as well. Why would you ditch it? Like, why would you throw it away?
Look, I agree with you, and I think we're going to see books about this in the future because there's no question that Threads was a response to Musk taking Twitter. But it still took them how long? And they probably always had it in the pipeline as well. But the way they targeted it and aimed it to compete with Twitter, it's the first time we've seen in social media where we haven't seen a platform assume a market dominance. This is a pure targeted competition. First time we've ever really seen it. And you can tell it's taken a Meta probably a good between 6 to 12 months to plan Threads in the release and how they did it and the features that are on it. And they've targeted it completely at Twitter. And what's happened is Twitter has, in response, become X, and that's their response. It seems, and that was done obviously probably within a matter of weeks, if not days. It's astounding.
Yeah, well, I'm going to watch this story for the rest of the year with amusement, because I'm sure it's going to generate headlines for all the wrong reasons going forward. I mean, yeah, there's a random chance it could come out the other end, pirouetting off the edge of a cliff and landing perfectly at the base or whatever in one piece. But it just seems like crazy. And look, I'm all for out of the box ideas, but when things have to kind of should make sense. Like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. This clearly doesn't look like a good idea, at least to me.
No, yeah, I have to agree with you.